A few months ago at an Animal Liberation Forum conference, I saw a book that bore the title Pacifism is Pathology. I decided to do some research on this book and discovered that it is not specifically about veganism or the animal liberation movement, but instead about when to call it quits with pacifism and instead use violent force to achieve your goals. It is basically saying that taking pacifism too far can be a pathology of sorts. I can agree with this position to an extent. If violence is rationally and morally justifiable and an efficient means of achieving your goals. When it comes to the animal liberation movement, though, I think for the most part, violence is not justifiable. Attacking the owners of slaughterhouses or research labs that test on animals or using violence to accomplish whatever your specific goal is would not get you closer to accomplishing your goals, but would get you closer to getting your ass in jail for a long time. For your stiff prison sentence, you would have accomplished nothing in the long run, and that would help the cause. I would tell people in this movement that would be open to violence that them and I know full well that animal rights abuses will continue to be perpetrated on animals so long as that there is a demand for the products or meat that the supplier is selling. Violence might strike fear into the hearts of some people, but killing one or a few of the suppliers won't do anything in the long run, other than to get you and your movement branded as nothing but a bunch of loonies, or worse yet, terrorists. I would also argue that such actions are not morally justifiable. Stooping down to the level of abusers and perpetrating violence upon them makes you know better than they are. However, I am all for breaking into a lab, for example, and rescuing animals, although I'm not that hardcore and would not risk getting caught by the authorities. If you can do that without getting caught, I'm all for it. I think that such action is a better alternative to perpetrating violence upon the employees because you're more likely to accomplish your goals in the short run of freeing the animals in question. I think that is also rationally and morally justifiable so long as employees are not harmed. Nonetheless, society is almost as likely to look at your group as a bunch of crazies as they were given the previous scenario. In the long run, it would accomplish very little because they would soon supply their industry with more animals and the demand would not have disappeared. Above all, I think the best alternative action altogether is the path of nonviolence. If you nonviolently protest the actions of the cruel suppliers and get people more educated and passionate about your cause and angry at the abuses they see, you will have effectively reduced the demand for the products of the supplier, and you will have made more people interested in taking nonviolent action against these suppliers and educating more people about the cause. It is also far and away the most rationally and morally rectifiable and defensible position. I'm behind this movement 100%, but I don't see violence as part of this movement as a defensible position. Thank you guys for listening.